best platforms. In the last 14 and a half years of my journey being an IAS officer, I don't say I've done a lot, but I feel that those little works that I have, taken up in my official capacity, in my non-official capacity, I believe God has blessed me a lot to impact the life of so many people around me. So the idea of that People's Road that you just mentioned came naturally because I have gone through these difficulties. I remember as a kid, we used to travel on foot from my village to my district headquarters because we were educated in the district headquarters. We used to walk on foot for 2 days and we used to sleep in the villages that comes in between. And I even remember me and my dad, we thought we can cover this distance in a day, but we could not. So I remember one particular night we had to sleep under a really big rock without food. The next morning we woke up at 4:30. My legs were all swollen. As a 10, 11 years old boy, I have to limp, walk half limping and reach my village. So life has been tough as I grew up, and now after being in the IS, I was given a posting as an SDM in my own subdivision called Tausem subdivision in my Tamenglong district. So I had to tour most of the villages on foot. So this idea naturally came that road has to be the first priority. Of course, I did not start on my own. I called the villagers, 300, 400 of the neighboring villages came. I stood up in front of them. Here I am today. I'm here because of the good wishes and the prayers and the support that you guys have given me. Today I'm here as your SDM. What should we do? Everyone say, let's do the road. I say, where do we get so much of fun? I do not know. So this 192-year-old man stood up and said, sir, you have cracked the IS. You're supposed to be knowing everything where the money should come from. So that was a big challenge. And he said, I'm going to give you my 5-month salary. I was wondering what salary is he getting. He said, I get an old age pension of 200 rupees a month. So I'm giving you my 5-month salary, that is 1,000 rupees to start with. So such a challenge came forward. Then by then I had some savings. I was in the revenue service for a year. My brother Jeremiah and his wife, they work here in Delhi as an assistant professor. Then even my mom, who takes a monthly pension of 5,000 rupees, all of us came together and started this project. And of course, the best thing was the villagers, not only from one villages, from those surrounding areas, they came forward and started saying that, I'm going to contribute this, I'm going to give this. For example, I remember one widow stood up and say, I'm going to give you 10, 20 basket of firewoods so that, people who are working here can cook all their food. Some boys stood up and say, we're going to do fishing in the river so that these workers has a good food to eat. And many people, would work from sunrise till sunset with their own tools without any single payment. So there was a requirement, there was a need to be done. So I just initiated this interest in them and showed them how we can take it forward. And it was the people who decided to take it forward. And of course, I'm a very optimistic person. So for those of you who are listening and thinking to yourself that, I would never be successful, please do not have this sense, of thought. I'm a very optimistic person. I had 2,000 friends on Facebook that time. I was so optimistic that, this is such a great project. Maybe out of 2,000, maybe 1,000 people will contribute 1,000 rupees, it still comes to 10 lakhs. So, with those positivity, I started, and then we were uploading every progress of the road. Believe me, the place where we started the road, there was no electricity then, there was no internet then. So someone would take the photographs, send it to the district headquarters, upload it on Facebook, Then it got traction. Many more people got interested. We got an email one day from Mark Zuckerberg's office, Sheryl Sandberg herself, saying that, we would like to host you in our California office, in San Francisco office. Please come and address our executives. Then they sent 3 people to film the entire road construction project. Then, of course, when the news was broken by so many newspapers, especially Times of India, on 3rd November 2012 at 11 o'clock, once the story went online, in 2 hours, 30 lakh people already read the story. We started getting calls from here and there. Of course, the rest is a history. So
Yes, sir, that is history. Sir, how tough was it for you to, believe into masses? Ki, how that faith came to you? Ki, okay, because generally it is believed that the power of the masses is limited, their power to sacrifice is limited, a general perception. How that thing, you initiated, ki, okay, this can happen. Well, first thing, how you visualize ki, this can happen.
So the double advantage with me was that I grew up amongst them. I knew them through thick and thin. I mean, I was one of them who had suffered together. So it was not difficult for them to believe in the initiatives. Second thing is, the road they proposed is entirely for their daily needs, for their daily usage. Like the 92-year-old guy, his first sentence was, "Son, I've been walking this road for my whole life. I don't want my grandchildren and children to keep walking this road and die away just like me." So I did not have to do much. And I believe, giving them the vision that it is for them, that it is them who has to take it forward. It gives them a sense of participation in this process. And you'll be surprised to see that in some of the videos you might have seen, women and men folks coming out with their tools and working the whole day, without a single penny being paid to them. So they were happily doing it.
So you are one of the, I'll say, one of the great leader we have in this time. So what make you this leader? What you thinking? This is something which turned me or which changed me, and today I could become that person, or I'm becoming that person, which eventually will be Armstrong Pame.
Well, I don't call myself a leader. I just continue to call myself a village boy, who started life in a small village, and it's been a blessed journey so far. One thing that I see is, and that I always have been passionate about is, number one, I'm an optimistic person. However bad the situation be, I always feel that, something good I will be able to do. Second thing is, uh, try to connect with the root problem that your society, your neighborhood goes around and needs it. When you are given that opportunity, try relating it to how would your present situation, how would your present position bring about a betterment in the lives of the people around you. This is the question that I first ask wherever I am posted. For example, I'll just give you a small example. So as an SDM, yes, I needed the road, people needed it, we started it. Second example, I was briefly posted as a director of sports. For me, I thought, I'm not such a great sports person. What would I do with sports? But then I also realized, Manipur, India's face has been represented by Manipur's sporting power in many events. Why not I capitalize on it? One day I was just sitting and then just re-looking back. As a kid growing up, I never get to kick actual football because we could never afford it. I remember we used to collect those plastic together and tie it with a sack ropes, and then kick with a bare foot, and then, as you kick the ball or you kick the rocks, you end up bleeding your foot. So I was thinking, now you're a sports director. Why don't you do something about providing the kids, football kits, so that they actually get to wear boot and to kick the actual football? So my state do not have much resources. So I invited Tata Trust to come along. I said, let's set up football schools, football academy. You supply all the kids, whatever football equipments that you need. They came along. We decided to set up 50 grassroots football schools. Every school had 50 kids each. Every football materials, football kits given with a coach, two coach each. 1,500 kids impacted. So what I mean to say is relate the present position that you are given today with the problem that the society faced and that you yourself have gone through. See, my entire aim of becoming an IAS was I've grown up from a very difficult place, from a poor family. Studies was difficult. My aim has been, if I can bring a solution, maybe not to all the issues, but at least some solution to the problems that I had gone through, why not? So I always try to relate back. So I just gave you one example. There are so many, that I wanted to share. For example, I'll just give you another example. So I was sitting in my office, and then, especially after class 12, results are out. Lots of parents used to come and approach me, as a DM. I made the office very accessible. So